It is during our darkest moments that we must focus to see the light. The best friend is the man who, in wishing me well, wishes it for my sake. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. There is no genius without some touch of madness. The roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet. It is this simplicity that makes the uneducated more effective than the educated when addressing popular audiences. Makes them, as the poets tell us, charm the crowd's ears more finely. Educated men lay down broad general principles. Uneducated men argue from common knowledge and draw obvious conclusions. Happiness is the meaning and the purpose of life, the whole aim and end of human existence. Quality is not an act, it is a habit. Happiness is an expression of the soul in considered actions. The worst form of inequality is to try to make unequal things equal. It is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. Happiness does not lie in amusement. It would be strange if one were to take trouble and suffer hardship all one's life in order to amuse oneself. You will never do anything in this world without courage. It is the greatest quality of the mind, next to honor. Democracy arose from men's thinking that if they are equal in any respect, they are equal absolutely. Pleasure in the job puts perfection in the work. We are what we repeatedly do. The happy life is thought to be one of excellence. Now, an excellent life requires exertion and does not consist in amusement. If eudaimonia, or happiness, is activity in accordance with excellence, it is reasonable that it should be in accordance with the highest excellence, and this will be that of the best thing in us. Whoever is delighted in solitude is either a wild beast or a god. Hope is a waking dream. Equality consists in the same treatment of similar persons. Whatsoever that be within us, that feels, thinks, desires, and animates, is something celestial, divine, and consequently imperishable. The whole is more than the sum of its parts. I count him braver who overcomes his desires than him who conquers his enemies, for the hardest victory is over self. The aim of the wise is to not secure pleasure, but to avoid pain. The ideal man bears the accidents of life with dignity and grace, making the best of circumstances. The high-minded man must care more for the truth than for what people think. Friendship is a single soul dwelling in two bodies. The one exclusive sign of thorough knowledge is the power of teaching. It is easy to perform a good action, but not easy to acquire a settled habit of performing such actions. Man is a goal-seeking animal. His life only has meaning if he is reaching out and striving for his goals. It is possible to fail in many ways, while to succeed is possible only in one way. I count him braver who overcomes his desires than him who overcomes his enemies. It is not enough to win a war. It is more important to organize the peace. Wit is educated insolence. He who cannot be a good follower cannot be a good leader. In all things of nature, there is something of the marvelous. The soul never thinks without a picture. A friend to all is a friend to none. The law is reason, free from passion. Courage is the first of human qualities, because it is the quality which guarantees the others. probable impossibilities are to be preferred to improbable possibilities. Bad people are in conflict with themselves. They desire one thing and will another, like the incontinent who choose harmful pleasures instead of what they themselves believe to be good. All persons ought to endeavor to follow what is right and not what is established. We acquire a particular quality by acting in a particular way. All proofs rest on premises. For the things we have to learn before we can do them, we learn by doing them. The greatest virtues are those which are most useful to other persons. The virtue of justice consists in moderation, as regulated by wisdom. Wicked men obey from fear, good men from love. The actuality of thought is life. Nature does nothing in vain. Dignity does not consist in possessing honors, but in deserving them. To avoid criticism, say nothing, do nothing, be nothing. To be conscious that we are perceiving or thinking is to be conscious of our own existence. Men acquire a particular quality by constantly acting a particular way. You become just by performing just actions, temperate by performing temperate actions, brave by performing brave actions. A tyrant must put on the appearance of uncommon devotion to religion. Subjects are less apprehensive of illegal treatment from a ruler whom they consider God-fearing and pious. On the other hand, they do less easily move against him, believing that he has the gods on his side. It is absurd to hold that a man should be ashamed of an inability to defend himself with his limbs, but not ashamed of an inability to defend himself with speech and reason. For the use of rational speech is more distinctive of a human being than the use of his limbs. Educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. The educated differ from the uneducated, as much as the living differ from the dead. Love is composed of a single soul inhabiting two bodies. Education is an ornament in prosperity and a refuge in adversity. The quality of life is determined by its activities. Life is a gift of nature, but beautiful living is the gift of wisdom. Young people are in a condition like permanent intoxication because life is sweet and they are growing. It is not once nor twice, but times without number, that the same ideas make their appearance in the world. The many are more incorruptible than the few. They are like the greater quantity of water, which is less easily corrupted than a little. Life, in accordance with intellect, is best and pleasantest, since this more than anything else constitutes humanity. If you love these quotes, please subscribe to this channel and watch